okay, the whole reason I feel like, both of us, well, I'm not going to speak on your behalf, but from some of the work I've seen you do, and what I'm trying to do, like there's been a commitment to trying to, even through entertainment and creative license, like represent things authentically, represent people. And like I've seen you in your roles, and just what we try to do, like we go deep, like we try things flourish in specificity. It's like people getting to know certain stories or certain people. And what I think is wonderful in this like sort of cultural revolution, I feel like we're trying to do without knowing it, and what ISPU is leading, is that it's so important to things come from an organic place of authenticity and truth. And everybody sees us as these sort of blobs, right? And there's like, and I was always like, at first I was like one blog, and I was like, no, it's like a guy blob and a girl blob, and they have very certain like shapes those guy and girl blobs are. And ISPU comes in and really like clears the fog, and shows the multifaceted nature of what is really out there. And by doing that, we're able to not just have to defend ourselves against that blob representation, and we can tell different stories then, and we can tell things authentically, and try to represent a lot of different type of people. And it's growing in baby steps. Like there's certain things we can't do yet, but it's like, that's where we have to keep heading, and that's where we have to keep going. Like we're in a culture right now where people literally can't read past the first paragraph of a Facebook article, right? And so it's like, you need ISPU the same way we're like, God, you better get the choice right for who's going to host Jeopardy, because it's just so important.
Oh yes.
Yeah, right? Like, please get it right. Like that is like these are like the last strongholds of people who are still trying for things to be based off of truth and critical thinking, when that's so under attack. And it's like, we just need whatever medium we're in, whether it's ISPU, who's doing it on the very like objective and intellectual level, or what we're doing to set up a sort of system where you put the information out there and it's true, and then people draw conclusions off of verified information.
Wouldn't it be nice to be in a pitch meeting where you're like, as I've had this, and I'm sure you have, where you're like pitching like, this is a Muslim storyline and we want to do this, and then you're like, well, we don't really know if this is true. Well, we don't know if this actually happens. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Here's some research that I can show you, and here's some facts, you know what I mean, that you can take with you, and that'll help you to convince you, because now you can't argue with these facts, right? So there's definitely that.
I've actually, for the first time, sent some of ISPU's toolkits to executives, right? And it's just like, wow, information. And you literally you're like, well, we can't argue with that.